Okay, here we have the heart first. So going over the first structures, we have the anterior sulcus, anterior intraventricular sulcus, and the posterior intraventricular sulcus. Then we have the apex, which is on the bottom and the base and the top. Then we have the pulmonary trunk, and we can see it if we open this. And it should be leading up from the right ventricle up. Then we have the pulmonary veins, which lead into the left and the right atrium. Then we have the superior and inferior vena cava, which there's one on top and then there should be one on the bottom, both leading into the atrium. Then we have the right and left atrial ventricles. So the right atrium, left atrium, the right ventricle, the left ventricle. Then we have the tricuspid and bicuspid valves that lead in and close it, so there's no backflow from the atrium to the ventricles. After that, we have the papillary muscles, which we can see right here. And lastly, we have the chordae tendineae, which are these heartstrings. Okay, we're going to go over the sheep eye. Going over the first structures, we have the sclera, which is the outer white part of the eye. Then we have the cornea, which is right here. Then we have the iris and the pupil, which we can see inside of here if we open it up. Then we have the ciliary body, which we can see on these sides. Then we have the choroid, which is in the back, and it's vascular, and it's black in color. Then we have the tapetum lucidum, which is this reflective blue covering right here. Then we have the retina, which is in the back, so it would be behind here, the retina. Then we have the optic nerve, which comes out right here. The optic nerve right here. And then we have the vitreous humor, which is the fluid in the back, in the posterior chamber of the eye, and the aqueous humor in the front. Going over the first structures of the brain, we have the dura mater, which is the hard covering around the brain. Then we have the right and the left cerebral hemispheres, along with the longitudinal fissure and the transverse fissure, which would be the transverse line. Then we have the olfactory lobes, so which we can see we turn the brain around, and it should be the lobes at the top. Then we have the cerebellum, which is known as the baby brain, on the other end of the brain. Then we have the cerebellum, which is the outer covering of the brain. Then we have the optic chiasma, which we can see if we turn the brain around, and it'd be these two protrusions almost making like an X here coming out, which would be the leading up to the optic nerves. Then we have the mammillary body, which we can see we turn the brain around and open it. And we can also see on this side too, mammillary body. Then we have the medulla oblongata and the pons. So first we have the pons, medulla oblongata, then the spinal cord. Now we have the pineal gland, which would be on the smaller portion, kind of near the cerebellum. Then we have the superior colliculi, along with the lateral ventricles. Then we have the corpus callosum, along with the superior and inferior colliculi. So superior and inferior colliculi. Then we have the thalamus and the arbor vitae, which is the white within the cerebellum that's cut open, and the fourth ventricle. Now we have the kidney. First we have the cortex, which is the outer part of the kidney. Then we have the medulla, which is the inner part. Then we have the renal pelvis, which should be these structures right here. Then we have the ureters, which lead to the bladder. And then we have the hilum, which houses the arteries and veins.